ninja, ninja, rap, ninja, ninja, rap, go, 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 go ninja, go ninja, go, go ninja, go ninja, go, go ninja, go ninja, go, 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 ninja, ninja, rap, ninja, ninja, ninja. It is definitely Turtle Time Cowabunga. Thank you guys for clicking on my thumbnail, for being here for another cool video on Kingdom Corn. Yes, guys, I am doing a full comparison review. I have got the 1990 movie Turtles from Neca, and behind that is the new ones just released, also from Neca, Secret of the Ooze. I wonder, are these worth getting? Am I just good with this version? Should I have them both? Guess what? We will know and find out by the end of this video. Stay tuned, guys. Welcome to the kingdom. Kingdom is now officially lit. What's going on? What is good? Thank you guys once again. I am going to go ahead and get right into this review. If you guys haven't already, for those that have, I appreciate you guys very, very much. You guys are totally great. And those who have not already, you guys can hit that subscribe button. I would love to see you guys here on Kingdom Corn every single time. Now, I'm not going to take up too much of your time with all this because we have got some serious turtle business today, y'all. Here we go. Down here, I have the NECA 90 version turtles, and up top here are the brand new Secret of the Ooze. As you guys can see from this box, these guys are not actually from this box. These guys are still inside of here. These are from the 2-packs. I was thinking maybe perhaps in the future I can compare the ones out of this 4-pack to the ones in the 2-pack, and that way we can be sure as to, are they the same? Is there differences in the 4-pack between these? That is an interesting question, so it may be answered sooner than you know, so just stay tuned. You just gotta stay tuned. So generally, you guys may be able to notice a few obvious differences between the 90s movie Turtles and the Secret of the Ooze. You can tell just off of these action figures that the movies definitely had different style. It is a lovely thing when you can tell without having to reference that these are two different type of turtles. They may even be the same body mode, but what does that matter when you have got two different attitudes? Like, everything just changes, you know? On the first movie, it was more hardcore, more grittier. These guys, they came out swinging at the box office. They were cutting people up, fighting the Shredder. Yeah, he's missing one of his swords. We'll get into that later. But I'm pretty sure these guys can still do as much damage as they caused in that first movie. I mean, they burned an entire apartment down with the Foot Clan inside. With the Foot Clan inside. I mean, that's not hardcore for PG. Now, which brings us to these turtles up here. Oh yeah, the parents had caught a hold of our great movie, and they had to step in and put that all to a quick stop. They are more silly, more on the goofy side of things. Not saying they haven't been through some things, but these guys are much more relaxed up here, more fun, carefree. They have been let loose. They don't have to hide no more in the sewer so much. That's why we have the ninja rap, as you guys may have seen from my intro. Looking first at the main man, Michelangelo. Right here, this is the 90s. Here's Secret of the Ooze. Guys, outright, you can tell these guys have these spots. He is lighter in the tone. They definitely, of course, as mentioned before, have different paint. As you can see, this little shell plate, whatever they call it, this has so much more detail on the Secret of the Ooze action figure than on the one from the 90s. This is a lighter yellowish color, and it is pretty much plain except for dirt, because these turtles here all the way around just had more of a dirtier look. These knee pads definitely look sewerish. They look like they've been put through the wire, put through the mud. Look at that paint right here. It's very beautiful, and it really totally gives off the whole feel of that first 90s movie with all the grit, all the dark tone, every bit of that. Even down to his feet, you guys may be able to notice he has dirt even on his feet compared to the other guy. There is a little bit of damage here on his shins, but it's not outright dirty, as you may be able to notice on the Michelangelo here. Cause yeah, this guy be skateboarding a lot, and he's just out there getting all dirty and gritty. Now, can you guys notice one main difference? Well, when it comes to his weapons, this guy is totally equipped with sheath on both sides so that he can sheath his nunchucks, or for this version, should I say, combat cold cuts. Wow! As you may notice, this guy is blank on that tip. Take a look at these shells. Even though they may appear the same at first glance, if you look way closer, this one on the Secret of the Ooze has a bit of a darker shell, and the details on it, they seem to be a lot better, or just the way that they painted it, because the shell on the first movie, as you can see, it looks more cheap compared to this. This one looks more refined. It looks more finished, more overall smooth. If I had to give points just for the shell, the points definitely go to the Secret of the Ooze turtle, because the shell on this movie, it looks more plasticky. It looks more like a toy. This one looks straight up realistic. It's like a matte finish, no gloss, and that is a great, lovely thing. As far as accessories go, these guys here, you can see on the original movie, he has got the nunchucks. It's like a wire that connects them so that you can get whatever poses you want to, more so than just having a regular string or chain to have it hang down. In this guy's hand is not actually a nunchuck, but he is holding his sausage links, and that is the art of ninjutsu, to be able to take anything and use it as a weapon as you have need. Good job, Michelangelo. That's some real ninja skill right there, man. These guys on the originals, they also came with a bunch of different bandanas. I consider that pretty useless, simply because if you are sitting there with a bunch of bandanas that you can take off and replace, why the heck would anybody really want to go through the trouble of doing all that? You got one bandana, you're good. If they wanted to do all that, it would have been great if they would have featured soft bandanas. Then you could easily get them to simply hang down as you would have it, and then whatever position you want, then you'll be good to go there. So yeah, the accessory points definitely goes to the Secret of the Ooze. Now, overall style, simply because I love the first movie Turtles better, I'm going to give that over to the first movie, because I just like the look of these much better. Cowabunga! Now, despite what that song says at the end of the first movie, here is Leonardo, the true leader of the group. As far as accessories go, I immediately got to take off some points for the first movie, because here you see a broken sword. No, I haven't been going crazy with these, tossing these around. I don't know how it got broken, but it could not have been in some legit way. So I'm going to have to take off points for this broken sword. As far as, are these the same sword? Well, if they are, that would take away my comment, because that means they both suck. They appear like it could be the exact same mold of sword. Once again, just like Michelangelo, it looks smoother, more realistic. It's just that the way it's painted definitely gives a more movie-like feel. Compared to the ones in the first movie, they look dirtier, but they look more shiny, they look more plasticky, and that way it just definitely just gives the edge to these second movie Turtles right there, because realistic is always going to be plastic looking. I mean, guys, check out the detail on his chest plate. I mean, it's like night and day. Right here is the lighter tone. He's got the dirt. But over here, the paint job is tremendously better. And I have to tell you guys, when it comes to the Leonardo figure, I'm definitely feeling this guy much better. This guy has a different color bandana. This is darker blue. This bandana is lighter blue. All around, it gives it that lighter Secret of the Ooze tone. I mean, he's supposed to be darker, but as far as these two turtles go, I'm going to give the award to the Secret of the Ooze. This Leonardo is totally awesome, like beyond. So it's hard to compete with that to begin with. Now on to Raphael. All the good ones, and then he can't hear me say that because he doesn't have ears. But here we go. As you can see here, I'm glad that both of these have got pizzas, because now I can show you guys that the pizza here from the first movie, it looks pretty disgusting. There's no telling what type of flies and stink bugs that they put on these guys, even if they claim not to like them. On the second movie, they have got basic, true pepperoni and cheese. And the texture on these pizzas is nice and soft on here, so it definitely has more of a realistic feel all around. Guys, I want to tell you right now, this Raphael from Secret of the Ooze looks totally amazing. I don't really even want to have to go into detail about it. You guys can hopefully just use your eyes, take a good look, use your ninja senses, pull off the perfect combination to make these look dark and still PG-ish at the same time. This right here, once again, I feel like they have gave it more of a plastic look right here. It just doesn't give off the same quality. Check out the rounded edges right here compared to these sharp ones. So it just doesn't look as natural here. This looks like someone took an X-Acto knife and simply just carved lines down the middle to create the parts that they needed. As opposed to this one, it looks like they sanded it out, they smoothed it out to make sure that everything looked good. They painted the inside. It is not simply somebody taking a knife and scraping a line through it. This guy has a dirt mark on the top of his head. So this guy definitely looks like he needs to take a good sewer shower, or should I say maybe get out the sewer for a change. This guy has actually been spending a night in April's apartment a whole lot more. His head is squeaky clean, except for those turtle liver spots. I do have to say, I like the elbow pads on the first movie Turtles a lot better. Those look definitely very better detailed. They look more so like something that has really been put through it. They've been really fighting with these elbow pads. The ones over here look way too clean for me, and I don't think that clean feel on these pads really represent these type of movie Turtles too much. It's a funny thing. On certain Turtles, certain features look good. On other Turtles, I prefer it on the other ones. I can say as far as the shells go, it's a funny thing, guys, but I seriously love the shell on the first movie better. If you look at the shell from the first movie, take a look at those scratch marks. It's also dirty. You know, it has that look like he's been running around the sewer, you know, not taking any baths out here. Now, looking at the Secret of the Ooze, it looks like he also does have the exact to the T, same scratches, same shell, same mold. The only difference with this is that the paint over here, because it's lighter, it's more smoother. You can't see the scratch details as good, and therefore it looks a whole lot more better on the original version of the turtle. This kind of fades the scratch marks away to where you can barely see them. But over here, this guy is definitely more battle damage. This guy goes out, fights by himself, and it clearly shows. All right, guys. Now we are down to my personal favorite of these turtles, Donatello. This Donatello came, of course, with his weapon, but he also came with a few different bandana straps. Once again, useless to me. If they wanted to do that, just give me some soft goods and I can pose it any way that I want to. But the Secret of the Ooze version of these turtles, it came with all of the accessories you will want from this guy. When he played with that clown in the infamous scene in the beginning of the movie, he has got this duster thing right here. So off the rip, these guys already come with accessories that make a whole lot more sense. Now, I must say I love the look of this first movie Donnie. This guy looks gritty as much as he needs to, but at the same time, let me tell you guys why I love Donnie. Because even though he's smart, like this guy was a straight G in the first movie. I mean, his puns weren't the best, but this guy still gave it his all. Donnie is a straight soldier out here and one of my favorites. Now, one thing that I'm noticing immediately that I want to get right into are the shells on these. As I mentioned before, it's crazy because different turtles I like different versions of their shells. Sorry guys. Some of them I like the shells on the first movie. Some of them I like the shells better on the second movie. These shells, they are both amazing to me, but I'm gonna have to go with the Secret of the Ooze because that actually pops out and stands out to me. You guys can see the different textures, the different colors and marks on this guy's shell. And man, I can't act like that doesn't make me geek out. This is a work of art shell right here. Look at the different colors, all the textures. This guy isn't battle damaged like Raphael's shell. It's cleaner, but yet it still shows that he goes out there. He's out there working in the mud. This guy still gets dirty and gritty with his, I tell you that. Compared with the shell from the first movie, you can see all those details. It really isn't just me as far as liking some shells better or worse. This shell is more plain. He doesn't have scratches or anything like that. It's more of a basic shell. It's not discolored, nothing like that. And here are both of the shells up close. Yeah, look at that. The one on the Secret of the Ooze is the clear and best shell winner right here on this figure. As far as the bow staff goes, it appears to me like they gave you the same bow staff in the first movie version as in the second movie version. Yeah, these are pretty much the exact same bow staff. The paint is about the same. If it is different type of paint, then it's not very noticeable at all. Therefore, it makes none of difference. And funny enough, on the Secret of the Ooze turtles, they didn't use their weapons anyway because of the parental advisory stuff going on. So him having his duster in his hand is the way to go. So there's no reason to put too much detail in making a better stick for one that he just did not use very much. He didn't knock nobody upside the head with that stick. I love the bandana on the first movie version. It has the dirty look. You can see the black dirt marks on there. Again, these guys are much cleaner, like they washed their clothes, took a bath. And I'll tell you, I would say this is a night and day difference, but it goes in favor of the one from the first movie. I like Donnie from the first movie all around, guys. This bandana with the dirt on it, it looks amazing. The one right here looks more plain. Also, the expression on this guy's face, although it is accurate to the movie, it's just more goofier. And if you ask me, I love the grit of Donatello from that first movie. It is unmatched. I think he's the toughest turtle of them all. Right here on the movie version, his knee pads, you might be able to see the silver parts right there where they lace together, as opposed to on the Secret of the Ooze version, it is just basic brown all around. There are no other colors over here to signify that he laces them up in any type of way. It is just on there. So the details on the older version Donatello is so much better right here. I tell you guys, on these knee pads, they definitely went all in on the first movie versions rather so than the Secret of the Ooze. I tell you, sometimes one thing works for one turtle but doesn't work on another. The Raphael, the Secret of the Ooze look was just perfect for him, amazing. But on this Donatello, I like the grittier look a lot better. Yeah, this figure, the first movie one, it totally does it for me. I'm going to give the award to that one from the first movie. So overall, both of these are just totally amazing, guys. Now, without further ado, I am going to go ahead and check out the articulation, compare those for these figures. I am going to begin with the first movie articulation. Let's get this stick out of his hand. I can tell you off the rip, it didn't quite do it for me. The articulation on the first figures, it really can be frustrating at times because I often had trouble moving the joints. His arm, I guess those big elbow pads, they make it a little difficult to see where you're at, and it makes you afraid to move them too much because you think it may actually break. Now, this Donatello is actually moving quite well, surprisingly. It is not how I remember it too much. He can do a full split, and as you guys notice, he is bending at the leg pretty good. Got that frog pose right there. And I am really having a nice time articulating this Donatello. And it is surprising, honestly, because I remembered these being kind of difficult to work with. So I really have to double back on my initial thoughts about this articulation because he is moving just fine, guys. As far as being double jointed, I doubt that he is. The knee pads covered up. It looks like a single joint right there. Elbows are definitely single jointed because these don't do too much at all. This articulation is not so bad, not so bad. On to the secret of the Ooze Donatello. Let's get this out of his hand. And, ooh, kind of hard to move a little bit there. A bit stiff, but it is sturdy. So it's okay to be a bit stiff if it makes it really sturdy. I think that's a pretty good thing. The head moves down in the exact same way as the other figure. The legs come up, and I can see that he's still not a double jointed turtle. Single jointed here at the knees. He can't bend too far. He's got those elbow pads that's blocking most of his movement. Same thing up here. These elbows, they come in, it seems like, a little bit more than the other ones. Oh yeah, he definitely brings those elbows in a lot better than the other one. 90-degree angle. This one goes all the way down more 45 degrees. But there we go. Arms up, arms out. So we got some good movement here. They are not lacking in their ninja skills as far as agility because these guys split and they bend pretty dang well. So as far as the articulation for Secret of the Ooze, it is, again, quite decent. Now, how do they compare? I would say, as nice as this Donatello did move, I definitely got more motion out of the Secret of the Ooze turtle. For the most part, I think they're about almost evenly matched. They both don't really have double jointed knees, and the heads, they pretty much move the same. They don't move up. They can only move down and also side to side. On that note, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys watching my video. Yeah, I'm a little tired, so it may not have been the best, but the most important thing is that we had a great time today. I hope you guys just felt a little easier about your days just checking out my toy review. Always remember, before we get out of here, anything is possible if you believe. That is a fact. Thank you guys for being Kingdomers and believers today. This is Kingdom Corn, and remember, go ninja, go ninja, go! I made it funny. Woo! Let's go, guys. 2023, we are lit. Yeah. Peace.